all these other coaches and self-improvement gurus, I'm not here to sell you some feel-good routine or flex my lifestyle. I am simply here to tell you that I think in order to win in life and get the things that I actually want, smooth and simple. It's probably not going to be what you want to hear, but it's going to be what you need to hear. So if you will just stick with me and actually listen for 1 second, I think what I'm about to say is going to change your life. Now, my whole life, I've always been riddled with pain. I've never really fit in with a crowd. I didn't really belong anywhere. And I remember back when I was in high school, I used to tell people that I felt like I was high all the time. And looking back on that now, I can say that that was somewhat true. But the point of the matter is that I just knew that I was different. I knew that something about me did not fit in with the norms of everybody else. I remember talking to one of my buddies at the time and making fun of people with anxiety, only to later find out that I was filled with it. So this set me out on this endless search to answer the question of who am I? And in finding answers to that question, I learned a lot along the way, but I can't fit that all in this one video. But what I can tell you is the single most important thing that I learned is that the way you think or the thoughts that you have control the outcome that you get in life. And to be more specific, the amount of money you make, the things that you get, the cars that you will drive. But let's be honest, money is a nightmare. But what does that even mean? Now, first we have to ask ourselves, what is a nightmare? A nightmare is something that is not real, but still affects us in the real world. So when you have a bad dream, your cortisol still spikes, your heart rate still goes up. You still get a real world effect from something that didn't actually happen. So, and back to the thing that I was just saying about money isn't even real. And what do you mean money isn't even real? Well, in 1971, money was taken off the gold standard. So that means that money was no longer backed by gold. So this money that we all need so much in our life and controls everything we do, controls our mood, controls how we feel, everything. It's not backed by anything. It's just kind of this thing that people can type up on a computer in a bank and give you a loan, and you're not borrowing other people's money from other people's accounts. They're just making more money and giving it to you. When they need more money, the printers come on and they print more. So this money really means nothing, yet it controls our life so much, and we really do need it to actually be able to do things and to thrive in today's society. And now the point of me saying this all is that at some point in time, you convince yourself that money is important to you and that you need money. Whether or not it's true or not that you do need money, you still convinced yourself that you need money at some point in time. And you might be saying, oh, but I realize that you need money. You still convinced yourself that you need money, okay? And if you were able to convince yourself that you need this thing that you don't really even understand what it is, and that even if you didn't know that it's not even real, then what else can you convince yourself? Well, anytime that you speak and think about something negative, you think about that bad thing that's going to happen. You think about, something broke on my car and now I have to spend XYZ amount of money to fix it. Now I'm going to have no money. Then I can't pay my bills. Now I'm stressed and rent's due and this and that, and I'm going to get screwed. It's like you have to figure out something. You have to figure out a way to work harder to push past that. But thinking negative does not serve you. And when you think negatively, when you think in a negative manner, all you are doing is manifesting those negative things to come true. And when you think in a negative direction, you are convincing yourself that that negative thing is going to happen. So why are you not thinking in a positive direction? When was the last time you asked yourself this? If you can think something negative and you can truly feel it happening, you can get that actual cortisol spike, your heart rate goes up, your anxiety flares. Why can you not think of something positive and allow that to actually happen in your life and actually accept that to actually happen? Because yes, there are times I can assure you, or you can assure yourself, whatever, that you probably think about something positive and you think, damn, that would be so cool if I got that new car. Imagine driving around and I see X person and they see me driving. I'm like, F you to that person or whatever it may be. You think of all these times, all these things you could get, all these things you could accomplish if you had that physique, if you had that money, if you had that car, whatever it may be, if you had those followers, anything. You think of those times and you feel somewhat of a anxiety reduction. You feel a little bit better. But then reality kicks in and you start feeling terrible again. You start feeling, well, that's never going to happen. And you just kind of let it go out the window. Like as if you're driving down the freeway with the windows down and a receipt or a bag flies out. If you can instead just allow that to stay in your mind and know to yourself, that is going to happen. All I have to do is just continue to do the work every day and I am going to achieve that. It is going to come true. I mean, really think about it. Why can you convince yourself that something is negative, that something negative is going to happen? Think about it for so long and then it actually happened. But yet you can't convince yourself something positive is going to happen. Think about it and then allow that to happen. You manifested that negative thing into coming your life by thinking about it, by probably doing things that caused you to get to that, by not doing things that are going to be positive, by self-sabotaging. Yet when that positive thought came to your mind, you didn't think of, how can I make this come true? What can I do every single day to take one step forward, to get 1% better, to get 5, 10% better, to fly forward and actually grab hold of that goal that is mine, that I deserve? There's no reason you can't. The only reason you wouldn't be able to is if you're allowing yourself to have those negative thoughts control your mind and control your life. But if you can just learn to reshape your mind and to rethink in a different way, if you can just convince yourself that that good thing is going to happen, that you are going to get that physique you want, that you are going to have that amount of money in your bank account, that you are going to drive that car, it is going to happen. Any time that I have seen XYZ car that I have wanted, maybe I saw it driving somewhere. Maybe I pulled over. I was like, yo, this is the car I'm trying to buy. What's the chance that I see one right here? Maybe that means I'm going to get it. Or I wanted another car. So then I researched it a bunch and I have a bunch of old pictures in my phone. Every time I have thought about that, every time I've done something like that, I have gotten that car I wanted. When I wanted my Subaru, I did a bunch of research and I ended up getting it. When I wanted my old LS400, I did a bunch of research, I did whatever I could, and I got the car. When I wanted my C63, I studied it, I figured out a way, and I got the car. Every single time, because I set my mind on it, I stayed in that positive thinking, and it allowed me to achieve it. I wanted my physique to be better, so I focused on making my physique better, and it got better. But if I would have allowed negativity to stay in my mind, I'll never get that, my genetics suck, this and that, I wouldn't have been able to do the things that would have allowed me to move forward to actually get that physique that I want, to actually achieve those goals. Now, I'm not anywhere near where I want my end goal physique to be, but it is going to get there because I'm going to keep that in my mind that I will get there someday. And that can be you as well. And it should be you, and it basically already is you. You just need to allow those negative thoughts to fly out the window instead of allowing those positive thoughts to fly out the window. And even if you can't keep those positive thoughts with you all the time, if you can just simply keep those negative thoughts from crowding in your mind, if you can just simply tell yourself, that's cool, that's a stupid thought, bye, and just let it go, it is actually going to change your life. And you are actually going to do something. But if you just continue self-sabotaging, if you just continue letting everything fly away, every time that you have a goal, it is never going to happen. But it should happen, and you deserve for it to happen. So why can't it? Tell me why you can't. And I can guarantee there's probably a million excuses coming to your mind. I can't afford this. I can't do that. I've got this living situation, that living situation. If you get to the end of your life, think about this. If you got to the very end of your life and everyone's at your funeral and they say, Jim had a lot of really bad things happen to him, and that really sucks. But you know what? He had an excuse for all those bad things to happen to him. He had a reason. He had a hard life. He had a whole past to be mediocre. Or would you rather be saying, oh, everyone's at your funeral and they say, oh, Jim had a really hard life. He had all those bad things happen to him, but he still succeeded despite all of that. It's like, even if your excuses are valid, why do you want them to control your life? Why do you want to allow these excuses to determine your outcome, to cause your life to not be the life you want to live? There's no reason they should. And you don't deserve to live that terrible life. But you have to start doing something about it now. You can't just continue waiting. You can't just sit around. And you can't just put things off. If you put things off, it's going to bite you in the ass. It's going to ruin it all. All you have to do is start. And you are going to have bad things that happen along the way. There's going to be times where you fall down and you're going to feel like you can't get up for maybe months. And then you're going to work back into the flow of it. You're going to get back into that rhythm. And then all of a sudden you're going to realize me falling down is what I needed to be stronger for this next chapter in my life. So if you can come back to let's go back to what I said in the beginning. Just like how you convince yourself that money is something that you need so badly, why can you not convince yourself that the life that you desire is something that you need so badly? Why? Because you wouldn't die if you didn't get the life you desired. But if you lost the money, then you might be living on the street. You might run out of food. You might run out of water. You're not going to. You can get another job somewhere else. You might lose a few things that are important to you, a few items. You might lose your car, have to get a cheaper one. You might get set back. And then you're going to start again, and you're going to move forward, and you're going to be better than you were before. Because you can never start over from square one again. Because every time you start over, you're starting over with a new experience. You're starting over with new lessons learned. It's just like when you're playing a video game and you die in that video game, or you don't get past that level. Well, you made it so far and you learned, okay, I didn't pass the level because I did that thing wrong. So now if I do this thing right, I'm going to pass the level. It's the same thing in life. Just think about it like levels, quests, whatever you want to call it. If you just learn from it and move on, you are going to get what you want. You're going to actually win. But if you continue waiting and doing nothing, it's going to go nowhere. And if you're like actually struggling and you have no idea where to go, what to do, you're just completely lost, shoot me a DM and I will personally help you for free to get where you want. Because something recently that has come across my mind is I got into this whole coaching space and game so that I can help people and transform their lives. So that I can live a better life and so that I can help people around me. But I started focusing too much on, okay, well, how much do I charge a client? How much do I charge for this service, that service? And it's like, the purpose of this is to help people and improve their life. So if I can just help a few people, that is going to fulfill my purpose. And the more people that I help, other people will be able to see the help that I have done for them and the transformations I have done for them. And it just keeps growing. And it gets bigger and bigger. And I help more people and I fulfill my purpose more. But if you get caught up in the wrong things, you completely lose traction and you completely lose vision, your vision of where you were even going. So all I'm asking is that you stay locked in, stay focused, remember what it is you're actually working for, and it will come true because what you want is already yours. And I typically don't end off the video this way, but I want this to reach a very large crowd of people. That way I can help as many people as possible. And you can do that as well if you just simply drop a like down on this video so that we can get it out as far as possible. I want you guys all to win, and I will be here to see you on the other side.